Okay, we'll start with this. Under my recent tweet detailing Clarissa Shields' decision to try to wear the exact same weigh-in outfit as Alicia Baumgartner.
It's something that a lot of people notice, not just me, and it's noticeable because Clarissa and Alicia, they don't get along.
Everybody knows that, so how is everybody supposed to interpret Clarissa Shields seemingly trying to take a page out of Alicia's playbook? I said, Clarissa really tried to bite the shit out the whole fit. Alicia did it better and did it first. Classy shit. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Alicia Baumgartner, so you should be flattered.
Now here's where it gets interesting.
A guy, or girl, who goes by the name Dom's Dojo Boxing said Clarissa over Alicia. I could give a fuck less about the colorism and beauty favoritism that has people putting Alicia on a pedestal.
It's gotta be colorism that I find Alicia more attractive than Clarissa.
If we're talking about womanhood, Clarissa is far more feminine in the first place, and if we're talking about careers, Alicia's not even in the same league.
Except that we're not talking about careers. I wasn't, and womanhood, that's a very broad spectrum term.
Whatever the fuck ever that means.
I think that Alicia is better looking. Simple as. To which Dom's Dojo Boxing continued, the Clarissa hate is forced and does not stem from any degree of rational thought.
You think you have to force people to dislike Clarissa Shields?
That's irrational.
A guy who goes by the name Dirty Dom made a rational argument saying, I absolutely love Clarissa, but she cares way too much about what people think, and because of that, she ends up doing some non-organic shit. And that's where the hate comes from.
That is where some of the hate comes from, not all of it. A lot of people have a lot of reasons they don't like Clarissa, and they mention it all the time.
Dom continued, be yourself unapologetically. Stop defending who you are to peasants. It's beneath her. To which Dojo responded, who the fuck cares if she cares what people think about her?
You care. That's why you came to my comment section.
I see a successful, beautiful, happy black woman. You're just nitpicking as if you have some type of moral high ground the whole time. You're bitter and weird.
Moral high ground? Says the guy who thinks the only reason somebody might not like Clarissa is because of colorism.
The Clarissa hate is rooted in racism and colorism.
Because everybody who dislikes Clarissa must be a racist. Well, what about all those people who are the same race as her, that say the same things as me?
When the fuck have we ever seen somebody so accomplished in her profession be criticized by everything non-related to her profession?
Oh, so you think that she's above criticism?
Y'all say that she's annoying and classless, but love Garcia and Romero for far worse.
I don't like either of those guys, and I don't like her either.
Y'all say she's manly and handsome, but praise Alicia who's overly manly with way too many muscles.
Yeah, I could take a poll right now who the average person thinks is better looking, and I think it's gonna come back overwhelmingly in Alicia Baumgartner's favor. She's got a prettier face, better body, nicer legs, a nicer ass.
Frankly, I think if a man is attracted to Clarissa Shields, that must be a gay man.
Gay.
Tell me she doesn't look like Jamie Foxx on In Living Color, when he used to put the wig on and call himself Wanda.
Gay.
Dojo continued, you never talk about her accomplishments in the sport but claim to be boxing fans.
No, I talk about her quote-unquote accomplishments all the time, which is why I'm not going to do that here, because this wasn't about Alicia's accomplishments versus Clarissa's. It was about their weigh-in outfits and how it looks a lot like Clarissa was jacking Alicia's swag. That's pathetic. You want to talk about fucking accomplishments to change the subject, because you can't really defend against what people are saying. They're not talking about accomplishments. They're not talking about womanhood or any of that bullshit that you're talking about. Because she's so accomplished, she has to
Fuck you.
steal outfit ideas from Alicia Baumgartner? Give me a break, because everybody sees it.
Fuck you.
This is not a civil rights issue. Disliking Clarissa Shields does not make you a racist by proxy, a bigot. It's not colorism. Some people just think she's ugly.
I'm not gonna run down an itemized list of dark-skinned women I like to appease what are your insecurities.
I don't have to.
As that is what you are trying to make this about. In your pea-sized brain, it's unfathomable that somebody might find Alicia more attractive than Clarissa. And if they do, it's gotta be because of colorism.
When the fuck did you become the overseer of people's personal preferences and beauty standards?
If you like bald-headed women that look like Jamie Foxx with a wig on, more power to you, but different strokes for different folks. Some of us like Alicia.
Moreover, you can't claim that all the people that dislike Clarissa are racists when many of them are the same race as her. Or have you not seen how many female content creators,
Right.
how many black women don't like Clarissa?
It's a lot. Women who have dedicated their entire channels to talking about how much they don't like her. What's your excuse for them?
She's manly.
50 Cent is the one who said so, and he's the same race as her. What's your excuse for him?
Is he supposed to be a racist? Because he's the same race as her, and he thinks she's manly.
I think she's a deeply insecure, insufferable woman who's given us any number of reasons why we might not like her personality or her aesthetic.
Ugh. Put some fucking clothes on!
What you want to do is launch this sophisticated guilt trip that the only reason somebody might not like her is because they're a racist, or this is colorism, to give you the moral high ground should anybody disagree with you.
Because you're weak.
Because you're just as insecure as she is if it bothers you this much that I find Alicia more attractive. What the fuck do you care?
Why?
What is this, mustering up some sort of childhood trauma for you? Some girl or some guy in high school didn't like you? You don't feel comfortable with your shirt on? You don't feel comfortable in a dress? You don't feel as pretty as the other girls or the other guys? I don't give a shit. I ain't your fucking therapist.
Not my fucking problem.
It's how sensitive society has become that you can't have a preference openly without somebody sermonizing about it.
The fuck do you think you are?
So maybe too many white liberals have gone above and beyond to try to appease people like this, and they think this shtick is gonna work with everybody. It doesn't work on me. You think society owes you an apology or an explanation because some people might like this girl more than that one? You like the other one. You should be happy with that.
Why are you so stuck on what other people like or what other people are saying?
If you made the same comment about Clarissa that I made about Alicia, believe me, I wouldn't be in your comment section. And the only reason I'm talking about you is because you came to me. It's how this shit always happens.
God help me. This guy wants to call Jesse because I think Alicia's cuter than Clarissa. Has a better body.
It's another hapless attempt by another hapless individual to weaponize racism as an accusation to elicit subjugation. Pardon me for saying so, I don't have any white guilt.
I'm just as much the byproduct of diaspora as you are.
And it's not written on any piece of papyrus in anybody's library that you have to like Clarissa, otherwise you're a bigot. You're just weak, and you couldn't think of a better way to make your case.
The time for those kinds of arguments is over. It's been over. People aren't going to pander to you.
He thought he could pull the Jussie Smollett routine. Elsewhere in the world of boxing, former champion Subriel Matias eyes end-of-year return. The former two-time junior welterweight champion was dethroned by Dalton Smith via fifth-round knockout on January 10th at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. Since then, Matias has kept to himself but has been working away behind the scenes. Matias, now 34, believes he's in relatively good shape and wants to return before 2026 closes, and he also wants another title shot. I'm about 20-something pounds over, but if God allows it, we'll fight before December. Matias told Caserio Boxing Kings, "With what I've achieved, we can get something that comes with a title." Looking at the rankings, Matias' wishes aren't outlandish. The hard-hitting Puerto Rican checks in at number 5 with the WBC, number 8 with the IBF, and number 10 with the WBO. He's also number 8 in the Ring Magazine rankings. However, Smith is defending his WBC title against Alberto Puello, a common opponent between him and Subriel Matias, on October 24th at the Utilita Arena in Sheffield, England. Gary Antoine Russell, the WBA champion, is in talks to take on Oscar Duarte, while Lindolfo Delgado and Artur Biarslanov are in line to fight for the vacant IBF strap. Shakur Stevenson is hoping to defend his Ring Magazine and WBO 140-pound titles against Devin Haney at 144-pound catchweight.
Yeah, good luck with that.
At the moment, Matias is still weighing his options. One thing he isn't doing, however, is dwelling on the past. In the last fight, life guided me that way, Matias continued. I'm used to doing that to my opponents, so it was my turn
to have that done to him.
I believe that if Subriel is going to stay at 140 pounds, he should forego the IBF route, as that route comes with a rehydration cap that may hinder his performances moving forward. If he's going to stay there, maybe he should keep his eyes on the winner of the upcoming Gary Antoine Russell versus Oscar Duarte fight, because if Oscar Duarte wins, you know Oscar's from Mexico, Subriel's from Puerto Rico.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
I'm not partial towards fighters going the WBA route, as the WBA has the same reputation as the WBC for wasting a fighter's time and a fighter's money, but the potential of another Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry,
it is there, and this could prove to be one of the most fan-friendly fights the super lightweight division produces, because Oscar Duarte is a pressure fighter. So is Subriel Matias.
I think that if Oscar were to beat Gary, and Subriel were to make it to him, Oscar Duarte would likely be the betting favorite going in.
There are questions about what remains of Subriel Matias' punch resistance, having been so violently knocked out by Dalton Smith. But don't forget, Oscar was knocked out too. He got knocked out by Ryan Garcia.
I think the WBA route is a viable route to maybe make something happen, and he should keep his eyes on the winner of that fight depending on who the winner is. Another viable route is the WBO route. The WBO that just so happens to be based in Puerto Rico, where Subriel is from. Their champion is Shakur Stevenson.
Has no immediate plans of unifying his division. How much longer is he going to stay WBO champion? I don't know. But Subriel could press the issue as his mandatory. If he fights his way up the ranks in those eliminators, maybe he can get to Shakur, or he can get to his vacant title if Shakur drops it.
Alternatively, instead of going the conventional route, what Subriel Matias could also do is see about migrating over to Zuffa, if for no other reason than they're paying the best money in boxing right now, and they've picked up a couple of gatekeepers,
Yeah, they're signing fighters left and right. You've got to get while the getting is good.
The only caveat in going to Zuffa is it might require Subriel to move up to the welterweight division to fight at a full 147, because they don't have a 140-pound division. They generally don't do the juniors and the supers. So it's a move that might require Subriel to move up.
Though what might still make it appealing to go over there is the money, obviously the money, being able to fight on a regular schedule, and that Zuffa's welterweight division is not a densely populated division. It's primarily comprised of whoever they can find.
Whoever else isn't already signed to a major promotional outfit. Zuffa's welterweight division is not fully developed, and it's for that reason he could do very well for himself over there, that instead of going the conventional route and fighting for the alphabet titles, he can see about going to Zuffa, at least for a period, make some money, get back in the winner's bracket, get back to fighting on a regular schedule. He was last in action earlier this year, at the beginning. If he comes back towards the end, then the year wasn't a complete wash.
A complete waste. I happen to think for a fighter like Subriel, who's already got 2 or 3 losses, I think, Zuffa is an ideal destination. The conventional route isn't going anywhere. The existing framework isn't about to get up and leave, but you might want to explore what Zuffa has to offer.
Richardson Hitchens is over there. Maybe he could finally get his hands on that guy.
See what they're all about, and if you don't like it, you stay the course. You stay the conventional route. But if they can make it worth your while and offer you some money, some more stability, regular schedule of fights, it might be ideal for Subriel.
Finally, in men's junior middleweight news, former junior middleweight champion Abass Baraou doesn't feel like the B-side after signing with Top Rank. Baraou had to deal with the promotional company as it promotes Zayas, while Baraou lost a split decision in their 12-round fight for the WBA and WBO titles this past January in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Top Rank left a lasting impression on him. Top Rank showed the feeling was mutual when it officially announced Monday it signed the Oberhausen, Germany native to a multi-year contract. Baraou, 17-2 with 9 knockouts, will fight for the first time under Top Rank on September 11th when they'll face Giovanni Santillan in a 10-round junior middleweight bout at Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California.
That's where Sophie's from. And Sophie's hot.
I experienced firsthand how they operate when I fought in Puerto Rico, Baraou told The Ring. In negotiations for the fight, we had great communication. They are very professional with their work, and I was impressed by it. I grew up knowing Top Rank as well and seeing them offer it firsthand here in the United States. It makes a lot of sense to me, and I see the big opportunities they give their fighters and the way they work. Baraou, 31, was a promotional free agent after he beat Ioannis Telez last August to become the WBA interim junior middleweight champion. He was later elevated to full champion after Terence Crawford moved up to super middleweight to face Canelo 11 months ago.
After facing Zayas, the ring's number 5 ranked junior middleweight, Barou's manager, Paul Gibson, stayed in touch with Top Rank. Once Gibson told the former WBA junior middleweight champion of Top Rank's interest, he was immediately on board. In my head, I knew I liked Top Rank, and it was a great show out there in Puerto Rico, my biggest so far, Baraou said. Everything went good, professional, and I just went home, recharged, and my manager was doing the important work in the background. I had Top Rank in mind. He told me they were interested, and I was like, yeah, we can go ahead with it. We got a great deal. I'm happy with it, and I'm happy with them as well. They're good in the business, so that gave me a good feeling to pursue with them as well.
Perhaps, but he's not actually debuting under the Top Rank banner on September 11th, not categorically. The fight that he's about to have with Giovanni Santillan, another former Top Rank alum, is being promoted by ProBox, not Top Rank. That's going to be on ProBox's YouTube channel, of which you need to be a member to see that fight. Baraou is currently ranked number 9 by the Ring, number 4 by the WBA, number 6 by the WBO, and number 11 by the WBC at junior middle. The stability that comes with having a promoter in place is something he believes can elevate his game to another level. I always was the B-side for a while, Baraou said. Going away to get the win and having a promoter now who has a plan for me and creates opportunities as well as gives me a lot of motivation to perform even more. I feel the world is open to me.
I feel that the fight that he's about to have against Giovanni Santillan, who used to be promoted by Top Rank in many ways, is a sort of rehearsal, that if you're worth the trouble Top Rank is about to put in, you should be able to beat this fighter. The silver lining is I think he's going to. I think Abass Baraou at 154 will do to Giovanni what Brian Norman did to Giovanni at 147. He's gonna steamroll him. He's gonna mow him down.
If he wants to have a continued future at Top Rank, he better, because I believe that's what that partnership hinges on. A win, a solid win, over Giovanni. Beyond that, because he's still at junior middleweight, the biggest fight for him to have right now would have to be a Jaron Ennis fight.
Jaron Ennis has both the WBA and WBO titles now. Very soon he could also have the IBF, to where most paths in the junior middleweight division will lead to Jaron Ennis. What are Abass Baraou's chances against that fighter?
Not good. Abass Baraou is a good fighter, make no mistake. He's a solid pressure guy, a pressure fighter. But pressure fighters? Jaron Ennis eats them up. This is not the guy you want to stand in front of throwing 3 and 4 and 5 punch combinations. He'll counter in between, and he'll do it with power.
Now, Top Rank, they can get him to that fight, but they can't win it for him. No more than they were able to win it for Xander Zayas, and you see what happened to him. So if Abass Baraou makes it there, while Jaron Ennis is still unified junior middleweight champion, my prediction, Jaron Ennis wins. Jaron Ennis knocks him out. He would be the first to do it, as Abass Baraou has never been knocked out.
But be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.